And then now you talked about campaigning out loud for Bill Belichick to be the head coach of the Cowboys. And I am telling you, Stephen A., now you are talking about oil and water, and they do not mix. This is not a good mix. Bill Belichick cannot run his franchise. He cannot run the salary cap. He is not going to pay Dak Prescott $60 million. He's not going to pay CD Lamb. They're going to have to gut the whole roster to put a roster out there that he wants to see and how he wants to see it. So, yes, Jerry wants to win his way, but Bill Belichick is selfish and strong-minded. He wants to win his way. He can't fool me with this media campaign. He's out all shucky-ducky with everybody. Oh, man, he's got all the answers. And soon as he becomes a head coach, guess what he does in the press conference? He acts like a dummy, acts like he doesn't know anything about football. So I realize he's trying to rehab his image in the media so that he can get a coaching job, but it will not be the Dallas Cowboys.
That's fine. It may not be the Dallas Cowboys, but here's what I think you're missing. I didn't say it was going to be the Dallas Cowboys. I said it would have been a perfect match. That man wants to coach football. He don't want to talk to the media. Jerry Jones want to talk to the media all day. So you got a cat that wants to be in front of the cameras and wants to talk to the media, and a dude that just wants to go out on a football field on Sundays or Mondays or Thursdays and win damn football games. That's what I'm thinking. And oh, by the way, what about this notion, Chris? Anything he's going to do is going to be better than Mike McCarthy. The fact of the matter is you got the bright lights. You got the allure of Dallas, the pressure that comes with the star and the playing in the $1 billion playpen and being America's team. Who's the one person that can get cats locked in and zeroed in and let them know, yo, you might not have a job tomorrow bumping around with me. You better handle your business. That would be Bill Belichick. What do I got to lose if I'm the Dallas Cowboys? What do I got to lose?
I disagree with you because all cats are not going to respond to his voice. And that's why New England went after a certain type of guy that was at a certain part in his career that he was able to do that to. When you have a roster like the Cowboys have, he is not going to be able to do that. Now, do I think he should be a head coach in the league again? Yes. I just don't believe it's in Dallas. Check this out, where you used to work. I believe he's more suited. Mike McCarthy has not done anything that would make him lose his job in Dallas. So we shouldn't be talking about his job. But
what?
The guy who's coaching.
What?
But the guy who's
Mike McCarthy has done nothing to lose his job? 12-5 and going home in the postseason every time?
But you also are the players that Jerry signs, okay? They can't stop a nosebleed in the playoffs. What's he supposed to do about that? Offensively, he's an offensive-minded coach. He has a great game plan, and he has Dak Prescott playing the best football he's ever played. That is his job. Would you agree with me on that before I proceed to point?
No, I don't agree with you on that because he's a Super Bowl champion coach. He's a guy that's coaching about 4 or 5 NFC championship games. He's not just some offensive-minded dude wearing the head coaching job. He has been an overseer. He has been somebody who's been a head coach pretty much for the vast majority of his career. There's no excuse. You can't look at Mike McCarthy and be like this, well, the offense, I mean, that's his responsibility. What's he supposed to do? You're supposed to find a way to work around the personnel that you have. If you can win 12 games during the regular season, how come you can't win at least 2 during the postseason?
I don't think that's a Mike McCarthy question. I think that's a Dan Quinn, an Al Harris, the defensive coordinators there. They did have some injuries down the stretch. And you can't beat nobody when you can't stop the run. And that's what led to their demise, okay? Not only this year, but that's where they were last year. So there's a guy in Washington who's the head coach now that was responsible, got promoted off that defense. So I think that's an appropriate question for someone in Washington to go answer, not in Dallas.
No, I think you being a bit diplomatic, man. You running for office? You running for office? You running for office? That's why I'm asking you, CC. Are you running for office, bro? I mean, come on.
If I'm running for office, if I am, I'm going back to Philadelphia because I do believe that Bill Belichick would be a perfect fit in Philadelphia. I do believe with Howie Roseman manage the salary cap and let Bill coach football. Okay. I do believe that's championship because Nick Sirianni every week looks like.
That's where I was going. What you trying to say about Nick Sirianni? He looks like a college coach, really?
Coach. Every week he is making fatal mistakes, not only during the game, but he loses the press conference. He comes to the press conference yesterday and said, every mistake on the field is the head coach's fault. Now, that's a lie. You can't start the press conference with a big lie. Like, you call the perfect play to the flat, throw it to Barkley, he doesn't catch it. Okay, now it's a bad call because you called the perfect play and your star player who started in game number 1 and game number 3 didn't do what he normally does. But if you look at his decision making, there is no rhyme or reason. There are no analytics that will support him going for it on 4th down and then going for a field goal. Like there's no sheet that's on that he's going off of field. He's like a guy playing blackjack, and sometime I'm gonna hit on 16, and sometime I'm gonna stay. Like, man, he is a disaster waiting to happen there in Philadelphia, and they have too much talent that they cannot overcome their bad coaching.
Well, why are you bringing him up and you're not bringing up Jalen Hurts, who's leading the NFL with 26 turnovers since last season? He's got 6 turnovers in the first 3 games this year? Why are you bringing Nick Sirianni up and we can't bring up our brother Jalen Hurts? Why not?
No, that would be the next conversation. As an elite player in this league, Denny Green, our coach, used to tell us, hey, man, that's a nice exotic sports car. You're driving it, the quarterback, you're driving it. We're all sitting as passengers. Every time you turn the ball over, it's a crash. So it's like someone in the car typically can pass away. It could be fatal. Every turnover can be fatal. He doesn't treat the football that way. So there needs to be a greater emphasis on him not putting the ball in arm's way. And also, you have to go to your play caller, and because he's error prone, and develop a game plan that helps curtail some of this by not putting the ball, because I'm not going to let him.
I got 2 questions for you about the Eagles in comparison to the Cowboys. Number 1, who needs, the operative word is needs, CC. Who needs Bill Belichick more as a head coach, the Eagles or the Cowboys?
The Eagles. The Cowboys have more personnel issues that can't be fixed. Like when you don't have run stoppers, and you don't have good blockers on the offensive line, so you can't even competitively practice against each other to get better. So the physicality of playing football, they're not good at. Do they have some good players? Can they pile up some stats and everything? Can they win double-digit games? Yes, but the physicality, when you are not a superior team on the offensive line, which they are not and haven't been for the last couple of years, and then defensively, they're nice. D. Lawrence on the edge, Parson on the edge. They are nice, but like a baseball team, man, they are weak through the middle, and you can't play championship football defensively if you're weak through the middle.
If you had your druthers looking at Mike Zimmer, who's a former head coach at your squad, the Minnesota Vikings, former head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, not a defensive coordinator in Dallas, having replaced Dan Quinn, who's the head coach with the Commanders in Washington. If you had your druthers, you keep Mike Zimmer, or you sit up there and make a call to ESPN and say, you know what? We want our man Rex Ryan to be the next defensive coordinator for this team. What do you do?
Man, don't do that to Rex, man. Rex is happy
To
sitting
Rex?
there ESPN. Don't do this to Rex, man. Rex got a good job Sunday countdown. Him and Greeny was talking about people's feet this morning and everything. He's just happy-go-lucky, man.
Oh,
And they don't have the personnel. They don't have the attack style that he wants to play. Like, man, when you look at him, man, he has some maulers. That 0 gap, 1 gap, man, look at him. He got some space heaters. Every team he's ever been on, so that his linebackers can roam free. They do have the secondary, especially when they get their other cornerback. They'll be able to play that type, but don't do that to Rex. Now, Mike Zimmer is an acquired taste, but you have to realize this is a sucker's job. Anybody that takes that, when the head coach in the last year of his contract, they just spent over $200 million on the quarterback, another $150 million on the wide receiver. That's a sucker's job for a defensive coordinator. I got to come in there 1 year as a stopgap. I could do a great job and still get fired. So you get someone like Zimmer, who really didn't have anything going on that he could jump on and say, yes, I can do that, especially with his relationship, with Jerry. So that's a bad job.